Yeah, welcome everyone. Hi, Phoenix, Ra, Geraldine, Michael, Suzanne, Dr. Donna, Carol Robinson, Rebecca, Larry. I'm not going to get to all of you because there's quite a lot of you in today, which is good. Okay, so we're at about 43, so I'm going to kind of begin. Right, lovely. Okay, so this workshop is all about forms and funnels. Now, remember last week you asked for this, so here it is. So what I want to do is I want to go through lots of things. I want to talk to you about all the forms, how you can create custom forms, what the contact form is, what the sign up form is, obviously register as well, and what we can do with forms as far as if we set our own custom forms up and where that information goes. So what I'm going to do today is I've actually muted the microphone so I can kind of work through what I need to work through for the form section. Then we're going to have a Q&A and maybe a little break. And then I'm going to run into the funnels and repeat the same process. So I'm going to run the funnel tutorial, and then we're going to do a Q&A at the end of that as well. I'm doing this just so that I can make it smoother for myself running forward. So if you want to save your questions for the Q&A section, because then I can look in the chat and also I can unmute you all so you can all chat. So what I want to start with is this little slideshow here. So this is a form that we're going to kind of create on the site. And it's just, we're pretending, because we haven't broken into the course creation workshops yet. So we're going to pretend our scenario is going to be, we've just built our site. You know, we did the page builder workshop last week. So hopefully you've been in a good place with your site, or you'll still be working on it. And we're going to pretend you've got no material together. So the only thing you've got maybe is something that you can give out for free to sort of incentivize people to register. Because all we're concerned about is getting leads into our site so that when we launch our amazing courses, we can then actually send emails out to all those people. So this is what it's all about. So we're going to pretend there's no courses in there, and we're going to be using it as a kind of platform to bring people in. So there's two ways that we can bring people in. Well, there's a few more than that, but what I'm going to talk about now is the forms and the funnels. So these two ways are of major importance. One is obviously capturing form data from people, and we can make our own forms up. And the other one is, of course, funnels, where you can lead people, you can give them something at the end of it. And you can also, you could do a video series funnel, so you could do videos as well. So I've set up lots of, I've set up some example files to tell you how it works. But what you need to remember is all of these things can be kind of cross-compatible. So when I say that, I mean that if you had a form on the web page like this, from this form, you could send them into a funnel. Okay, so you don't just have to work with the opt-in form that's on the funnel. So when we get to that, it'll make sense. But what I'm trying to get across to you is it's very versatile. And also I want to sort of break this myth about funnels, where, especially with automation and funnels, as soon as people say automation, people go, oh, what's automation? And it scares them, but it's actually really simple. The automation side is completely separate from the funnel pages or steps that you set up. So that people seem to think that when you set up your funnel steps, that the automation runs in time with it. It doesn't. It actually, you set your automation up to run when you want it to go to those places or to other places. This will become clear later. So with forms, we can capture data. So we can add tags to students. So adding a tag is really good, because if you set a form up, say you've got the form on the website and it's March, and you set a tag up for March 2021. And then when you get to April, you remove that tag and put April 2021 on that form, sorry. So now, because you've tagged that, people that have come in March, you can look in your data on your students and you can see, oh, I've tagged them for March, I've tagged them for April. And then it means that you can also, when you send emails out to them, you can filter it by those tags. So you can also send people to funnels from forms, and you can also add them to a list, so an email list. So you can set up lists for different things. So in combination, with tags and lists, you can do multiple things because you can filter and filter again. So it's segmenting your email list. At the end of it, when they hit the submit button, you can also redirect them to a page. So with forms, we can add, with custom forms, we can add custom data. So you'll see on this form that I've got here, I've just added a bit of custom data, accept terms and conditions. It's a required field. They have to hit that checkbox to be able to submit. And I'll show you that later. So a submit button down here is a button. So when you create buttons, you can also do things like open a pop-up or go to a link. And the kind of submit button works in a similar way, except you can submit. And I'll show you that. And lots of people, they set forms up and then they choose from the drop down, they choose go to a link. And then they wonder why the form doesn't work. And the reason the form doesn't work is it needs to be a submit button. But I'm going to show you that later, so don't worry. Just bear it in mind. So let's go to funnels. And what are they? So funnels are a way of gaining prospects. So lead magnets, normally these are shorter sequences. So there might be an opt-in page and a thank you page, and that's it. And you've got a video series funnel. It doesn't have to be videos. It could be anything really. And they're usually longer. So it might be like day 1, watch this, day 2, download this, day 3, go here, day 4, and you can make them as long or as short as you like. But in essence, lead magnets and video series funnels are kind of the same. We've just split them out to make it a bit easier. So next we've got landing pages. Now, this is not something I'm going to talk a lot about, because when you understand how to create forms, you can create your own landing pages. But landing pages are worth talking about, because if you did the page builder workshop last week, you could do extra pages that are not linked into the site. And you can submit them to Google and they can be picked up on Google search results. You could also say to people, like, go to this page, so you can use it as a landing page to bring people in. So this is another way. It's not really covered in here, but I thought I'd feature it anyway, so you know. So all of the above are for offering something that brings your users into your site. So whatever you think of, you can be as creative as you want to with this. Lots of people give out free PDFs, or they do short video series, that kind of thing. Or some people do maybe a discount at the end. So click this link and you get 50% off or 10% off or £10 off or whatever. So these are ways when you want to try and get people engaged. I mean, people love free things or discounted things. I mean, look at the success of Black Fridays and all the sales every January, February, March. It seems like we've got sales every month. And that's because people like a bargain. Or they like to feel they're getting a bargain. So this is very powerful if you're using it for giving somebody something for free, be it information or anything, or even a special invite into a live webinar you're holding, or any of these kind of things. So examples of this could be short video series for free. You could do a free guide or a cheat sheet. You could do a special offer on one of your courses, or you can invite people to a live workshop. So these are kind of just to get in your head ideas of ways of what you could do as far as moving through forms and funnels. So organization via lists and tagging. So I've already kind of covered this, but tags prospects means it's easier to sort and organize your prospects. So that's your leads coming into the site. Lists, creating an email list gives you further control. So when you use both of these, you've got lots and lots of control of that. So that's kind of the intro. This is what we're doing. So intro to forms, and we've done the demo. So let me just get out of this and jump into the site. Okay, so is that clear to everybody at the moment? Yeah, so you can give away free module lesson. They'd have to sign up for a free module lesson, but you can make the free module lesson a free preview. So that would work. I mean, anything you can think of, or you could even create a video on its own. I mean, what I'm doing, the special gift that I'm going to give you at the end, which is how to make your own custom emails to email templates to put into your email broadcasts. That's a video that's on YouTube. I'm just going to share the link with you. That's a free gift. I could turn that into a funnel. So anything you've got, it's unlisted video at the moment for you guys, and then I'll make it public sort of next week sometime. Right, guys, you should be able to unmute yourselves if you want to have a scream at me.
Yay, thank you. We're so glad we finally reached you. Yay!
I'm so
Fine. You just couldn't get a hold of you. Thank you.
It sounded really good.
It sounded amazing.
Contact.
Oh my gosh. It's about FOMO. Oh my gosh.
Look at the screen, all our names.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I get so. I need someone to handhold. Really, I reckon.
You almost got a pizza.
We all tried. We all tried.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna start again, but you're gonna get it pretty easy anyway.
Thank you so much. Oh,
Thank you.
that's teamwork.
All right. Let's go back to muting ourselves. Let's mute ourselves.
It's all right. Remember to shout if anything's not clear and you can't see anything. I'm going to share my screen now.
We were trying to.
Right. Let's start again.
Okay.
Right. Form to funnels. Right. Let's go in and have a look at the site as we've got it at the moment. So I'm going to go into the site, and this is what I've got set up. So you probably know because I've already talked to you about it, but we're not selling any, we haven't got anything to sell. So we're doing this site purely to get prospects in. So to do that, we're going to use a form to actually get them to register on your site. So this has got to be catchy and get them to register. So it's launching soon. Register, get on the list. So if it's on a subject they want to know about, like how to use Zenler or marketing course delivery platform, then they can sign up and then get in there. So that's good enough. But later on, we're going to offer them an even better incentive to get into here. So I'm going to run over how to create these forms, and I want to be clear to you first of all that a contact form, and guys, if you already kind of knew what I was talking about when I said like a contact form that you get built into Zenler, is actually, you can't change it. It's just the way it is. So these custom forms that we're making here, they will save the data for the student in the student's area, so you can see it. But the contact forms will actually send an email to you because they're contacting you. So I'm going to show you the standard contact form. This is where I messed up last time, but you didn't see, so that's quite good. So I'm going to drop a contact form into here.
David?
Yep.
I'm trying to follow along with you. How do I get to this place where you are? Where do I go to follow along with you?
Pardon? Sorry?
How do I follow along and to recreate this, or do you just want us to follow and watch? Because I'm trying to do it while you're doing it, but...
Oh, right, yeah. Just watch it. I mean, after the presentation, there is a replay, which I'll cut out all that stuff before.
Okay. Thank you.
So you can just follow at leisure then. I mean, all of the stuff that I'm talking about is all on our tutorial sites anyway, but this is a good chance. Workshops are really nice because you get a chance to actually talk, and actually say, oh, I've got problems with that. So you can try and follow along a little bit. When I'm explaining little areas, you don't really need to follow along, such as this block here, because this block is a standard contact block and you can't add any more fields in there, and you can't really do a lot with it. You can change the way it looks in here. You can change some of the things like the background color and the line color. You can get rid of that like that. You could change the button background color, but it's set. So you can't add any more fields. So this is where actually creating your own custom fields comes into effect. But with the contact block field, this block here, when a prospect fills it out, it will get emailed to you. So it'll pop up in your email. which the custom fields do not. They save in the system. Well, I'll show you. So just bear that in mind. Always test. I'm going to be testing this. So follow the way that I'm testing, and just follow that the way I'm kind of testing it out, and then you'll be fast at doing it as well then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this block and I'm going to delete it out for the second time, and I'm going to put in a new form in here. So first thing to do a custom form is to come into elements and come down to form. Okay, so that's elements, form, and then you can click this form block and drag it across into here. So it's going to create a basic form with your name and your email and submit. But all of these you can change everything about them. So it's just what we've set up here, but they can be changed. I'm going to just style this button. So I'm going to go into the settings here, and I'm going to go in and choose an outline. Yeah, and you can play around with these. This is just a design thing. I'm going to choose the color of the text, and I'm going to make it a white border, and I'm going to make that border a bit thicker. And then I'm going to come down to the width, and I'm going to make it normal to make it a bit thinner, and I'm going to align it center. And I'm also going to take the padding away on here, like that. Okay, just to make it look a bit better. Okay, so now important things, the fields. If we go into the settings of the field, over here under settings, you've got the placeholder text. So I'm going to change this, and I'm going to put this in as first name. Okay, you can set it as required. So I'm going to set that as a required field. Means if it's a required field, they can't hit the submit button. It will not submit until they've entered some information into that area. Next one, we've got input type, and I've already got this as first name, so it's correct. But there's lots of different types that you can put in here. One's email, first name, last name, address, city. Then you've got state, zip code, phone, and custom type. So make sure they tie up. Because I've written first name in there, I'm going to make sure it's on the first name field. The next one I've got down here says email at the moment, but I'm going to change that to last name. So I'm going to click in here. I'm going to change this to last name. And I'm not going to make this required last name, but I'm going to select it from here, last name. Okay. So we want to add an email in here. So I find the easiest way of doing this is to click one of the blocks and just to duplicate it. Then go into this block and just change it. Make sure it ties up with email. It's definitely got to be a required field, and save it. So now we've put in a custom form, first name, last name, and email. First name and email are required. Now, something to bear in mind when you're creating custom forms is do make sure that your form fields and submit button are all inside this purple block. If these are outside, then it will not get submitted with the form. All right. So you just make sure they're all inside. Now, there's different types as well. We have the input, we have checkbox, drop down, text area, and of course a button as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a checkbox and I'm going to drag it across to here. And I'm going to change this text under here, and I'm going to put agree to terms and conditions, and I'm going to make it required. Now for field name, I'm going to put in here terms and conditions. And I'm going to save it. So now we've created that in there. So if you want people to agree to terms and conditions, you can put a little checkbox in there, they tick it, and it's a required field. So if they don't check it, they won't be able to go on through the form. So let's test this form out. I'm going to save it off and click the refresh here. And I'm just going to get rid of myself as a user, which I set up. Okay, so I'm out of there now. So let's go and fill this out. And agree. Actually, I won't agree to it. Watch what happens if I hit the submit. It's going to go checkbox must be checked. So it forces you to make sure that you filled out all those things. So I'm going to click this now and I'm going to hit submit. And you can see it says success. So let's go back to the site and let's refresh this page and see if it's captured the data.
David?
Yeah.
How can they read the terms and conditions if they want to before they click the button?
Yeah, the good point. Yeah, you could put a link in there. You could put a link to the terms and conditions, or you could have terms and conditions underneath it.
Okay, so you can link the terms and conditions text to the actual terms and conditions?
Yeah, you could go and put, I don't want to jump off too much on subject, but if you came in here, you could just add another text piece in there, and then you could choose part of it and link it to your terms and conditions.
Right.
Yeah, so they've got so they can get to it. But you know, you've got a checkbox there. This could say anything, and you could create extra ones of these. But yeah, that's how you could do it in there. So I've refreshed this screen now. So now you can see that I'm entered. I've actually gone in there as a lead. I've got no tags or anything. So we're going to start to play around even more with this now. So let's go back in here and look at this submit button. So in this submit button, we have some options. Here we have the text, which is, I'm going to put join us. Okay. And then we've got subtext. Now under subtext, you can put whatever you like. So you can put other text in here and you see it appears down here. You can change the size of that text by coming down to the subtext size, and you can make it bigger or smaller. Next, we've got action. So when you're actually got a form that you want to be submitted, you need to make sure that you've got submit form. Okay. If you want the button to go to a different link, then really this form is useless. It would just be a standard button going to another link. Also the same for open a pop-up. So if you wanted to open the pop-up, you could get the button to activate and open the pop-up. And the pop-up in this case has a form in it, which they'd fill out. So again, it's really for this, a form that you're creating. The only option you want to pick is submit form. Underneath that, we've got add to email list, and then we've got add to funnels, and then we've got tag. So we were talking about actually setting up tags on users, and you can set your tags in here. If you click once, any tags that are already in the system will kind of pop up, but you can add new ones. So if we go add a new one, I call it March 21, and then we hit enter, that's a tag that's been set up. You can set another one as well, new lead, and then you could hit enter. And this would be tags. So these tags would show in here. Yeah. And remember, tags allow you to filter later. So if you're doing email broadcasts or any of these kind of things, then you can tag, you can filter the users by the tags that they've got. So it's very powerful. The next one we've got is add to an email list. So you can also add, when they submit the form, they can also be tagged and they can be added to an email list. So I'm going to go to the email list, and I created one, so I'm going to get rid of it. So if I go to email broadcast email list, I'm going to just delete this out so you can see what we're doing. So this is what you'll have. If you have no list created, this is where you can set it up. So if I create a list and I go something like new prospects for March, and then I click create, it's going to create a list for me. So at this point, I can go into here and that list will appear. So now when someone submits the form, they will be added to that list and they will be tagged with March 21. Now we can also add them to a funnel. So if you've got a funnel, you can sort of bypass the opt-in and you can go straight. You can enroll them. You can put them straight into the funnel that way. So we're going to do that one and that one. I'm going to save the post submit action until I test this, and then I can show you what post submit action does. So let's go back here. Make sure I'm out as a student. And let's do it again. So in here, agree to terms. Right, join us.
David, sorry to disturb you, but this page you are working on now, where did you actually start it? Is this a landing page, or where did you start this page from?
This is in the pages, yeah. So I'm in pages.
Yeah.
It's a page that I've set up because there's no content. I removed this is what the normal page looks like. This is like if you were actually if you'd finished creating the site, this is what the normal page looks like. But I just I just created a clone of that page, yeah, by hitting here. And then I went into that page and I deleted the top header and the footer. So all I'm left with is this middle area.
Because it says form to funnel, I could see in the top when you were creating this.
Yeah, because that's the name of the page.
That's the name. Okay. Then I'm with you. Thank you.
It's all right. Yeah, I've just set this up because remember we're assuming that you haven't finished your site and you want to start collecting leads for your site. So by setting up a page like this that's got nothing on it, you can still work on all the pages of your site. You can still preview the pages of your site. You can make sure it's all working. When you're happy with it all, you can then make that the home page, because that's all I've done with this. I've just made this forms to funnel the home page for logged out and logged in users. So I can just select the page I want to be for logged in and logged out users. All right, but we're assuming that you haven't finished creating your site and you haven't got a course ready. So you're just trying to get people into your site so that you can then send an email out to them when you actually launch. Is that clear?
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Lovely. All right, let's do this. Why have I got an error message? I'm just going to have to clear this. It's because I deleted that thing out. I think it was causing an error. Sorry guys, I'm just checking through, making sure it's not there's not something wrong with it. It's probably because I'm jumping across.
David, you may not want to go back to this. I just got a little bit confused about how to attach the terms and conditions. I see the checkbox, I understand that part, but I don't understand the part about if someone wants to actually read it. But you feel free to tell me to watch the replay if you feel like it was covered and I just missed it.
No, it's all right. I'll cover that in. I'll contact you afterwards about that. I don't want to move into things that they're actually really easy to do, but it's
okay.
it'd be easier for me to show you after. I just want to show you how the forms work, so you sort of get it in your head. Just because I
Great,
put
thank
agree
you.
to terms and conditions, I could delete that out and put something else in there, like what country are you from or something.
Thank you.
So I'll get back to you on that one. So it seems to have done that, which is good. Right, that should all work now. So I put that tag in there. So all I did there, just to recap, is I've made sure that the email list go to the new prospects list that we just set up. And I added the tag for March 2021. And then make sure you save it. So inside here now, I'm going to refresh this and it should all work. Oh, someone's got their microphone on.
And it just kind of came through our conversation.
Can I quickly ask a question, David? About tags. Is there a way to set tags
The courses.
as a list other than setting it through here?
Yeah, I don't want to jump off topic.
No, but just a yes or no would be fine.
Well, not. I mean, you can put information in here. You can ask for specific information, but it's not going to work out your taxes or anything. That's part of the site side.
Yeah, sorry, that's not me making all that noise, by the way.
No, it's all right. I'm going to just.
to mute.
Can talk about trees.
Sorry, hold on.
Josie Adele. Josie Adele needs to mute.
So I think it kind of started as a
Who's got their microphone?
sharing energy.
It's Josie
The massage
Adele.
therapist has this energy, and then how you can
David, can you
also
just
find that
mute
energy
Josie
other
Adele?
places and
Wow.
living things, and even supposedly dead things, but supposedly in nature. And
Find where to mute.
what came up for me, let's just go right to that, is the idea of being out in nature and
Josie Adele, you need to mute your computer.
I think I've done it.
being able and seeing,
Oh,
connecting with nature in kind of a real personal way, like trees.
Oh, here we go.
Hello, tree. Yeah. Hello, Ponderosa. May I snip your bark? And
I've only got a certain amount showing on
that
the screen, so I
that
can't
exchange of
find
energy
people
with
to
the
mute.
enlightenment, and I have felt that very directly.
David, you
Being
can
out in
mute
nature-
all of us
nature feels
first
like,
time.
the way I tend to describe it to people is just like, that's where I feel like I'm not in a building.
If you go in participants,
Which
you
is why
can
I
just
look back at
scroll and then
colored
move
trail.
that way.
Awesome. Thanks, Bobby. And you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was saying that I haven't, after Jay had described it, I have experienced that. I don't actually go up and introduce myself to trees
This is
or the
mad.
ocean, but
Guys, can you hear me?
I certainly exchange energy.
I think she
and
left the room and can't hear you,
great
but
peacefulness
if
when
you
I'm
go into participants, I can see her with her mic on, but obviously I don't have the authority to mute her, but you should be able to.
I can't go in. I
And
can't change
currently,
it.
it's, I don't know
Hold on.
if
If you
you've
click
seen one
participants,
Yeah.
working out on Zoom, but there's a lot of tchotchke.
I can't turn her off.
But each of those things is something that belongs to somebody very special.
Sorry, what's her
can you
name?
mute all like
A
before?
tile trivet.
Josie
My
Jones,
mother was-
Josie.
I was 8 years
Sorry.
old.
Josie, can you hear us?
My mother was a very strong
Where is it?
Catholic. She was
Hold
a
on.
Eucharistic minister.
No, but we know her
Josie
mother was a
Adele.
strong
For
Catholic.
that, and that just, I mean, that's
Josie.
amazing.
Oh,
That
Josie.
thing,
Josie
because it was so
Hogan.
important to her, you know.
Adele.
So, and
Oh, yeah.
touching a tree, I have never, ever said
Sorry.
hello to a tree, so
Sorry.
Yay.
Yeah, sorry guys. I can't just unmute her on here, so I have to leave it to people to, you know, keep an eye on these things. Right. Okay. Right, so where was I? Right, okay, so we're going to test this form out now, success. I'm going to go into the people, all people, and you're going to see me come up in here now.
David, you share your screen.
Oh, you can't. Doing it again. Why has it all gone so wrong today?
Gremlins.
You're doing fine, honestly.
It's great.
I'm coping.
I love it.
Yeah, right. Okay. So can you see this?
Yeah.
So I filled out this form now. And remember, our form is going to action submit form. And we're adding to this email list that we set up. And we're adding a tag March 2021. So in here now, you can see that we have this new tag. Yeah. The user. And if we go into email broadcasts and into the email list, we have this email list and we have a member. So it's added them to the email list and it's tagged them. So going further than this to the next stage, what we can do is we can add some custom fields. So we've already got this one down here, agree to terms and conditions. So if we were to go to more fields, can you see there's a new box popped up, terms and conditions? If I click that, you can see I've put, it's gone in there as true. And that field has only come up because we put that field in here. So I'm going to go one further and I'm going to duplicate this and change it, the name. I'm going to make a custom field. This is really important you understand this because obviously a lot of you are going to want to set up custom fields. So a custom field in there, and we're going to say, I'm going to put, do you surf, for instance. And then in here, I'm going to put surf. Right, this is the name, this custom type name is what will be shown in here as this. Okay, so I'm going to now save that. And I'm going to go into me. I'm going to delete me out. This is what I tend to do when I'm testing forms out. I'll test it out with one email address and I'll just delete myself out. And then I can retest it again. So I'm going to then refresh this screen and I'm going to put it in again. So let's put this in here and click join us. Success. Jump back in the site, hit refresh. And we got here. And if I go to custom to the more fields, I've now got this new field, surf. It goes yes, and terms and conditions, true. And we've been added into the list. Whoop. In there. So that is how to set fields up, set custom fields, forms up. But if we're trying to give something away for free, then we need to give them some a sort of download link or to maybe a free video or something like that. And a lot of people do this. What they do is they set up a thank you page that might contain that link. So if I go to my pages now, you're going to see in here, this is another page I've set up. It's basically based off of this one. You'll see what I do a lot of, because it's really quick, is I build a page and then I clone it and I just change some of the details or the background image. So everything remains constant. I don't tend to work on each page as individual pages. I tend to just work on a clone and then I just put the copy in there. That's a little bit of a speed saving technique to do that. So that's what I did for this. I just cloned this one out and I created this thank you page. So if I go into this thank you page here, you're going to see that I have thank you for signing up. And we can link to that page. So inside that page, you could put your offer, but I'll tell you why you shouldn't. The reason that you shouldn't put your free gift inside of a thank you page is that if someone decides to put a fake email address in there, then they're going to go to that thank you page, be able to download your freebie, and they don't have to give you a proper email address. So what I tend to do is I set up what's called a sign up trigger, and it's basically a funnel, but with nothing in it. Now, guys, I'm up to where I kind of messed up last time. So I'm up to that place, which is a good thing. So I'm going to show you the page here. This is the page I've got it set up as a thank you page. So I'm going to go and just change this. I'll just put courses. Let me just save that. And I'm going to come into the form now, back to the form. I'm going to go into the little gear icon. I'm going to come over to the settings. And where we have this, what's called post submit action, this is what happens after they press the button. So as I said, you can send them to a thank you page. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and send them to a thank you page. So we're going to send them to this thank you page. So I'm going to take this part of the URL after the domain name. You can select it all if you want to, guys, or you can select that part to make it a relative URL. If you guys did the page builder last weekend, you'll understand what I mean. It's part of it and it's on the same site. So from the .com, it will go to the right page. So if I copy this and I go now into the post submit action and go to link, I can paste that link in there. Just check it. And now, because I put that link in there, as soon as they hit submit, they're going to go to that thank you page. There. So click save. We'll test the form out. Delete me out. Okay. Refresh the form. Agree to terms, hit join us, and bang, you're straight into this page. So like I said, you could put your freebie into this page, or you can use what's called a funnel trigger. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to create a funnel, but I'm going to put no content in any of the pages or any of the steps. I'm purely using it to automate what's going to happen. So let's go and create that funnel, that marketing trigger. Let's go into marketing. We're going to go create new funnel. I'm going to choose, doesn't matter which one you choose, really. I'm going to choose lead magnet and I'm going to click next. And I'm going to name this and I'm going to call this trigger for, you can call it what you like, trigger for email. Free download, any of that stuff, nope. I'm going to click next. I don't even care about the template. You've got to select one, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to delete them out. Then I'm going to click next and it's going to start setting up the funnel steps. But I don't want the funnel steps. So I'm just going to hit delete step and delete step. So I've got nothing in here at all because all I'm using it for is automation. So with automation, we can send it out when they actually enter a funnel. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click the edit. Now, guys, am I going too fast for you here?
I just lost that last little bit. The last 30 seconds or 1 minute, I lost you.
Right. Okay. So did you see me create the funnel?
It was a little fast.
Right, okay. I do tend to race through it. Let me start again with this then. So to create a funnel, just click create new funnel. Yeah. We're going to go to lead magnet. So I'm going to click next. Then we're going to name it. So I'm going to call it email trigger or something like that. Yeah, I'm not going to put in freebies or courses or any of that. We're just using it for automation. So then I'm going to click next. I'm going to choose one of the templates, but it doesn't matter which one. So I'm now going to click finish. It's going to create my funnel steps, but I don't need any of these. So I can click delete and delete. And I've actually done a video on this, guys. So if you are stuck, there is a video on YouTube channel. So now we've created that, we've got no funnel steps. We're purely using this email trigger to trigger emails to be sent out to the person that signed up on the form. So with that in mind, we automatically set up some automation rules for you, but we expect you to customize them. Okay. So if you click in here, you're going to get the 3 that have been set up. Now, I don't need all 3 of these. I only need 1. So I'm going to click the edit action, and it's going to give you the 3. By the way, guys, just come back here a second. It doesn't matter which one of these you open up. It will show them all when you click. So when you click like here, it's going to show me those 3 actions in here. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this one. Then I'm going to delete this one. And then on this one, I'm going to actually change it. So what we're going to say is that it will send a mail. Okay, that's send mail. And you can give it an action name. So I'm going to go give a freebie. I'm going to say when it works. So basically when they get put into the funnel, when will this email be sent out to them? So I'm going to put 0 days. You could put 0 minutes. It doesn't matter. It's just 0. So it's going to send out straight away. And you say the email address that you're sending from. I'm going to leave all this default in there. And then you give it your title. So the subject title of the email. So I'm going to put here is your free gift. Okay, so I'm going to grab the freebie link. This link, by the way, is the link I'm going to be giving you out later. So in here, read all of this. There's some good information here for you to read, just to get into. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take all of this and delete it all out. And I'm going to just put something very simple in here. I'm going to put hi, and then I'm going to personalize it. So I could put their first name or last name. So put their first name in there. Oh, appeared in the wrong one. Sorry. Let's put it in there. Personalize it here. Sorry. First name. And then I'm going to just keep this really simple. Here is your free link to the video. Okay. And then I'll paste the video link in here. Oh, don't want that. Oh, that's weird. Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's put click here and put that link in as a link. So something like that. So this will now send them out the freebie. So whatever you've got, you could link to it. You could put an attachment in there and link to that. And this is what's going to fire out to them. So we're saying that as soon as someone enters this funnel, an email gets sent out to them straight away because it's 0, 0. And it will go from my name there, and it's the mail subject is here is your free gift. Mail content has a little bit of personalization in there, and then there's a link to the video. So you can test this. You can also preview it in here. So you can preview and test everything works, and then it will work. And you've also got filters down here, which we can talk about later. So let's actually activate this. So to make this live, you'll notice this is paused. I'm going to click make live, and I'm going to click save and apply to exist. I haven't got any, so I'm going to click yes. So now this is live. This is working. So remember that this funnel, this email trigger, that's what it's called. So if I go into marketing funnels, I've got that email trigger in there. Okay. Right. So with that done, I'm going to jump back to the page. And go into the form. And where it says funnel, I'm going to add on that submit button. I'm going to add it to this email trigger. So what will happen then is when someone signs up, they'll not only get their tag, go into the email list, but they'll also go into that funnel, which is set up to send an email out to them, giving them the link to the freebie. So add to funnel, there it is, email trigger, and select that. We're going to click save. And now we're going to test it. Just got to remove myself from here. Okay. Agree to terms, and I'm going to click join us. So now it's gone through. Right, now we need to check the email to make sure we received it. Right, sometimes this can take a little bit of time to come through. But I'm going to check something, make sure I've gone into the funnel. One lead. Do you notice down there it says one lead? So I know that my lead has gone into that funnel. There. Yep, so it should have started the process of automation. But it hasn't come in yet. It should come in. It will come in. I'm going to send a quick test one now. That's what happens when you rush. There we go. So it's there. So let's have a look. Oh, it's because of my name. Yeah, guys, don't worry. It's because this is a test account. It's coming up with this, but it won't when you do it. This is the video. This is the email they should receive. And if they click this link, they're going to go through to the free video. So by doing this automation, you can set this up. So you could set up another email to go out at a certain time. So maybe a day later or 2 days later, so you could use the automation to follow up on emails. It's definitely, as we say all the time, test it, make sure it's working as you expect. Because I know this isn't working because I should have Surf Dudes in here, because that's the email address tied to this account. So that's why I had that warning come up, which I actually show in the video, in that video that I'm going to give out to you at the end. So I'd probably put Surf Dudes in there as well.
David, may I ask a brief question?
Yeah, sure.
I would just like to know how to add an additional email. Would I just simply clone that original email and modify it?
Yeah, no, it's a good one. What, in here?
Yes.
So you want to add an additional automation to it?
I was just wondering how to add extra emails in this sequencing.
Right, yeah. Well, we're going to be, in the next part, we're going to be doing funnels. So in funnels, we're going to have a whole series of these. So I'll be showing you how to do it, but I'll show you quickly how to do it. Under here, you have rules. So there's certain rules in certain areas. Automation is used in a lot of places throughout the site. Automation is used when you do a live. So if you do a live webinar or a live class, you can use automations. And in each of them, these rules slightly change. So some might be on enroll or on subscribe. They change, but there's 3 places where you can use automations: in courses for the course, you can use it in lives, and you can use it in funnels. Okay, they're the 3 places. They all alter slightly, but the way they work is exactly the same. So if you understand this, wherever you see automations, just look at the action. So look at the rule. What's the rule? So this is the only rule in here we've got is on subscribe. So we're looking at it from when someone subscribes. So you set that up first, and then you set an action to go with that. So when someone subscribes, then you go add an action. So in the action here, you've got send a mail. This is send a mail, which we have here. You can also add a tag. So when someone comes into your funnel, you can also tag them again. So not only can you tag them from the contact form or the customized forms that we've got set up, you can also tag them in the funnel. So when they get added to the funnel, they get a new tag. You can also remove a tag. So this could be quite handy, because if you've got someone who's actually signed up contact form and you've added a tag like March, and then they come into another like a funnel page, or they fill out another form, you might want to remove that original tag. So you can do remove tag and then March 2021. You can remove that tag out and add a new one, say April 2021. Next one is webhooks. I don't want to get into webhooks, but it's a way of sending information across into different apps. And you've also got one here that's called Notify Admin. This is really handy, because if we had Notify Admin, then as soon as someone goes into a funnel, you would get an email ping up in your inbox, and you would know that someone has just gone into your funnel. So to set that up is really easy. There's not a lot to it. You just click the Notify Admin. And if you click in here, you're going to see Notify Admin, action name. You can call it what you like. And then you can go, hi, David. And you could go, you have a new sign up. And then you can take some of the who signed up. So you could actually take some personalization of their first name, put space, personalization, last name. Then you could say what their email address is, if they've entered it in there. And that's as simple as you need it. You know, then you'll get an email pop up in your inbox and you go, oh, that user's, I've got a new user entering the funnel. So you can check it. And you can always check the people that have come into the funnel through looking at the leads here. Yeah. And if you tag them, you could also look at that under the people option. Always remember, a lot of people forget, when you set these automations up, just make sure that you make it live, and also make sure you test it as well. Here we go. This is the email has just come in now. So this is the email that's been automated. So it's gone into the Newton, and that's been sent out from the Zenler system. So there it is there. So it took a little bit of time. It's worth testing just to go through it. We're going to be covering automations more in the funnel section. So we've got quite a bit to do. I don't know if we're going to get to cover it all, because it's 1 hour 25 already, and there's still a lot. So I might run this workshop on to next Sunday, if you guys don't mind. I don't want to rush it. Are you happy with that?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, you're okay with that? Because it is really important.
That'll be great.
Yeah?
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
Good. All right. Yeah, because I think it's a big one, isn't it? You guys obviously know that funnels and capturing details from your student is like one of the key things that you do on the platform. And I wouldn't want to rush the funnel section and do it in half an hour. It'd just be crazy. It'd be crazy. And sorry, that's completely my fault. Sorry for wasting your time there. Yeah, but okay, so what I'm going to do is let's do a Q&A on what we've done so far. That way you can ask all the questions you like, and we'll split the funnels one out into next week. I'm going to try, Rakesh is normally here most Sundays, so I'm going to try and get him to co-host, so that way he can pick me up and also answer questions on the chat, which I think would be a good idea. It's sometimes you miss these things when you're just in the zone. As you saw, all the hands up, all capital letters. So, well, they're a bit crazy this week.
You let us know that you're human, and it makes us all feel like it's okay to do that. You had a legendary recovery.
I don't know about legendary, but I was completely flummoxed. So, guys, got any questions for me?
I do have a question, David. My question is on the sample lead form that you were making, and you had the text entry, do you surf? And the response was a yes or no. Is that a yes or no field, or could we have another answer, like a 1, 2, 3, like how many children do you have? What's the possibility there?
Yeah, good question. I mean, what I did was, this is a free text box. So when I filled it out, I actually put yes. So I could have put, I could have put, well, I'm kind of an intermediate surfer. I could have put, I'm intermediate. I could have put advanced surfers. Because it's a free text box, you could put what you like. But it does bring up a good point, because you have the other options under the form settings. So if we go something like drop down here, and I put a drop down in there, remember all these form fields are in the elements. Don't go to blocks, go to elements. And under the drop down here, you have a lot of other options. I would suggest play around with them, because they're pretty easy to use. Just need to click that little gear icon, go over this side, and then you can go input type, go custom options in here, and you can start putting them in. So if you put like, how many children do you have? That could be, oh no, or I could put sorry, I'm going a bit crazy here. Let me just put a little block in here, because you can put other things inside here. You don't, as long as they're all inside the purple, you can put text in there. That's okay. So you can put, please let us know how children, something like that. And then I'll go back to this.
Can you tell us where this information's stored once you've got these answers to the different questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let me go in here and just put custom type. So custom type name would be number of children. Okay. Should put H there. So I go add a new option. And I can go 1, 1, add a new option, 2, 2, add a new option, 3, 3, 4, 4. And you could make that required. I'm not going to, I'm going to click save. So now if we have a look at this form, we have a drop down here. Yeah.
I see. Thank you. That's great.
Yeah, so you've got that little drop down on the side. You've also got like check boxes you could put in there as well. But have a play around, because you have these different options. I think text area gives you a bigger area for them to type. So if you put that in there, actually it doesn't. I'll put a line in there. No, I can't. That's the same as that. So delete that out.
David, when that little red box pops up, input type not set, I saw that pop up earlier in the demonstration. What does that refer to?
It means you haven't, sometimes that does pop up, but in this case, it's all okay. Everything's working. You'll often get it happen if you haven't got any links. Like if I went into the settings here and I chose something like from actions, I choose link, and then I don't put a link in there. Sometimes you'll get that you haven't set an action for it. So you need to set an action. So if you put it on like choose action, then it might throw up that as an error. it doesn't do it all the time. It does it randomly. I think they're looking at that, but it will throw an error up. If there's no action on it, it kind of tells you there's no action added to it. Whenever you see that come up, it's probably because you haven't applied an action. It's quite easy to drop a form in and maybe change this to choose an action and then forget about it. And if you do that, then the form's not going to fire. You need to make sure that the form's on submit form. Okay.
Thank you.
That's all right. So then you would add it back onto the trigger and then save it out. But yeah, getting on to the question is, where is this data held? Because remember at the beginning I said with custom forms that you set up, custom data is stored in the platform itself. So it doesn't fire an email off to you. You can get it to fire an email off to you, but you need to use Zapier to do that. So I'm not going to cover that. I don't want to get into the Zapier side, but in fact, I think I've done a tutorial on it, if you want to know more. And we've got a big update.
To know where you actually found it. I mean, where on the site do you actually find the data?
Yep, right. I'm coming to that now. So if we go to site and you go down to all people, so site, all people. Now, remember in here, you can go down to leads. So you only have the leads show. You can click student and only the students would show. I've got no students in here. I've only got leads. So in leads, to actually find that data, just open up more fields and just open this up in here. And you'll notice that they're popping up. Can you see that? So it populates in here. Now, if you haven't, no one's put any information in there, then nothing will appear. It will just appear like this.
What about the children? Did that not appear?
Well, I haven't done the. All right, let me just.
No, that's okay. No, it's fine. If it would appear in there, that's fine. You don't have to actually do it.
Yeah, if I deleted myself out and then resent this form, then that data would appear in there. It would say how many children, because that's what we set in the field. So the form field here would show this number of children, and then whichever one I picked, that would appear in there. So inside the there, it would say how many children along here, and then it would say 1 or 4 or. So that's where it appears. So it saves that data. Remember that you can export this data out just by hitting the export. So you can export this out and it'll export it out as a CSV file. So you can bring that into programs like Excel and stuff, or Google Sheets, and you can open it up. You can even link it. You can even use Zapier to pull that data across. So there's all the data in here to be able to play around with. But what's next? Anything else?
I've got a question about emails in general.
Yep.
Is there a way of doing an automated email to an existing list? Is there a way of setting up a series of emails to a list you've already got that you say, like I've got a funnel, and so I've had a couple of emails going out automatically, but then from there on in, I wanted to follow up with them and do another set of automations. Is there a way of doing that?
Yeah, you can. Because remember, you can bring people into the site. You can import people in. So the easiest way to do it is to actually, it might sound weird, but you can export people out and then import them back in. So let me just sort of show you. If you did an export of me, which I just have now, then I could click import users. I'm not going to do it all. I choose the import type as. At the moment, these are all leads. If I was in people, I could change this type, but I then choose the CSV file. I think I've got it in here. There. And if I clicked open and then I click next, I could actually bring them in, make sure these fields all tie up, click next, and you can actually bring them straight into a funnel. So you could bring them straight into that trigger funnel to trigger automations.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you might have a particular. Have you already got them in your Zenler platform, or are you importing them in?
No, they're already there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll probably want to find the people you want to start the email trigger for, export them out, bring them back in and just send them into the email trigger.
Yeah.
Set the email trigger up, but always test it. Test it with yourself. Put yourself in there, export yourself out, bring yourself in, test that it works before you actually go ahead and do it to everybody.
And is there an easy way to set tags on people without having to go into each one of their profile and set a tag?
Yeah, I mean, we said there about when they come into a form, you can set the tags.
Yeah, I mean, once they're already in, so I've already got my people in, and if I wanted to add a certain tag to certain people, like certain lists, is there a way of doing it without going into each one of their separate profiles and adding a tag? Can I do it from here?
Oh,
anywhere?
so you want to generically do it to, like, say 10 or 20 of your students?
Yeah.
And you don't want to go edit and then add it, because you don't want to go into here and then go down to there and add it. Yeah, you can do it exactly the same way. When you export your students out and when you bring them back in, you can do that. So let me just show you. So if you do an import of, let's pretend you've exported and you're bringing them straight back in again. If you go to here, and you're going to see that you have add tag. So you can go new tag and then hit enter, and that will be applied to the students you're bringing back into the site.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you can add a tag from there. Oh, that's fab. Yeah. Okay.
You can add the tags in there if you want to. Or of course, the other way you can do it is you can actually take them into the trigger funnel, and then in the trigger funnel, you can add a tag. So there's always like 2 or 3 ways to do it.
Yeah.
So if I come in back into that trigger funnel that I set up, all I would do is go under the automations and come down to edit this. And in here, I would just go to a new action, add a tag.
Yeah.
And then I would just add my tag in there. Whoop.
You can create a new tag like that, can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Grand.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
that would then add the tag in for that user. So there's also a few ways. It depends what works with you. I prefer using the first way. And if I was bringing students in and they were tagged, I'd tag them on import because it's easier. Because I could tag them and add them to a funnel straight away, and they might be different to this, because obviously anyone coming into this funnel is going to be tagged with this tag if you set it up like this, unless you apply filters, which we can do here, which I'm going to talk about when we get onto funnels.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Brilliant. Okay.
I have a question, David. I have 2 questions. My first question is, when you're setting up the fields like number of children or do you surf, for the people that I already have in my my leads list that I don't have that information for yet, am I able to go back in and add it myself and modify those because I didn't capture it when they signed up?
I'm not sure if you can go in and add a fields inside here.
Yeah, because I'm just learning to do this today, so I have some that I don't have that information for yet. It would be nice to have it. I was just wondering if there's a way.
No, I understand, because it's like here. I would expect the fields that are in here. I would expect them to be passed over to this. Let me just check something. No, it looks like they're not. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do it, though. I think we could do an import and have those extra fields in there and bring them in. Or, yeah, let me have a think about that one. Can you PM me that question?
Okay, sure. Yeah, thank you. And then yeah, that's great. My second question, David, I have just been using Zenler for about a month and a half. Pro plan, and I've been using the broadcasts only. That's the only thing I've known to do. And I've been doing a lot of test emails, and it's kind of cluttered up my emails, just looking at all those broadcasts stacked up. Is there a way I can clean it up? I don't see a way to delete a lot of test emails that I've done just to make it look neater.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, the thing is that it saves the data. So when you send it, even though you're testing, if you actually send that out even as a test, then it starts saving that data. So then it becomes locked in there. I think I've got it. If I run down to, this is the master site for it, and I've been running some tests out here. Then I've got them as draft, but see this one, I can't delete it out, because you can duplicate it, but you cannot delete these out. But I'll have a word with Rakesh. I think Rakesh is on here anyway, so he'll probably hear this. It would be good to be able to change this, but I'm not sure how it will affect the bounce rate and all those sort of things going on. So it's a technical question, that one.
Okay, thank you. And I think it's going to be better for me now that I'm learning how to use funnels. These things are going to it's going to be a lot neater in the future, I think. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it does tidy things up. And I always say, like, if you're doing an email, you can just, before you send it out to a lot of people, just test it out by just going in and editing it and just sending tests to yourself. So you don't have to send it to everybody. You can just go through it and just send a test one out here, preview it, or move on to the next one, and then just test it out. Where is it? There. So you can do a test there, send a test, and that's how they will receive it. So you can send it to people as a test to test it out. So if they want to test it on a phone or different things, just run it as a test in here until you're happy with it, and then send it to a list. That way you're not going to build up a lot of test emails, which I think is what you've done. I've done that as well, because once they actually get sent off, you can't delete them out. But maybe Rakesh will look at that. No way to delete easily now. He says now, so I guess that's something that might be sorting out later.
Okay, thank you.
It's all right. Okay, any other questions? Right, okay. I think
Hi, David. Sorry.
That's all right.
Hi, Phoenix here.
Hi, Phoenix.
Hi, thank you for being such a champion today. It was not easy.
I kind of blame myself, really.
Oh, you did good. I have a question that might be a little bit advanced, and it's fine if we deal with it later. What I would like to do is create a two-step form. Maybe I missed that you were dealing with it. For example, what I would like is this. You land on the page, and then you put your name and your email and your surname, okay? Then you have to hit the button that will say next. That button will then open up another form. On that form, there is either a drop-down list or a tick box list that will give me a bit more information on your level. Let's say, for example, on my lead magnet design course, I would say, I would say, I've never designed anything before, or I'm quite advanced in design, or I have got no clue where to start, things like that, so that you have a background of what level your student is at. And then this gets taken into the same form as a custom field. And where I'm failing is that the custom fields are not being picked up.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's like a two-step thing.
Yeah, no, I understand what you mean. I don't. It's not easy to implement. Let me.
No.
Yeah, let me look at that off this board, because it is more of a complex situation that you're dealing with. But I know what you mean.
Probably a ninja level thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's like people have asked, like the two-step checkout and those kind of things. So it's, you're leaving a page, so you're leaving the information, but there might be a way to reveal something, hide something, and reveal it. But it is more of an advanced technique. But remember,
basically, this form has to then go into the same form.
Yeah.
On the next.
Yeah, I've got you.
And then take all the information and put it into the same columns.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. Now let me work on that. I've got a few ideas, but I don't want to start because some people have probably got a headache from this already.
Yeah, it's been. I'm sure you've got one too.
Phoenix and David, may I ask quickly why that would be an advantage to have the collecting additional information on the second page instead of doing it all on the first page like you've demonstrated today?
Oh, for me, I've got a background in user experience design. And one of the things is that if your form is too long and too overwhelming in the first step, you will get a high abandonment and a high drop-off rate. So my whole goal is I want to design it in a more conversational manner, where you go through step 1, step 2. And then I take that additional information to then tailor my training to the different levels.
Mm.
Does that answer your question, Diana?
Yes, it does. Yes, thank you. That improves the user experience. Thank you.
Yeah, we haven't got that at the moment inside Zenler, but obviously, like Phoenix, there's lots of integrations that you could probably use to create the same thing. But it is something I'll look at.
Yeah. Yes.
Brilliant. All right. What else have we got?
Hi, David. I have a quick question.
Hi, Eddie.
Hi. Yeah, this is Ade. So I was wondering if you integrated MailChimp to New Zenler, does the automation process work the same way, or is there something different that you have to do?
Yeah. Well, MailChimp, it will only kind of, like all of these, they don't. You can't use like any of the automations from anything else to work in the Zenler platform. You've either got to use one or the other. You know, so
Gotcha.
if you wanted to automate, if you're using Active Campaign or something, you'd embed that into the platform, because although we have MailChimp integration, MooSend, and Active Campaign, it kind of just saves out the users as opposed to any kind of talking between the two systems.
Gotcha.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's all right.
What is it you want to achieve? What sort of?
No, yeah. So I was just wondering because with MailChimp they have those email templates where I guess they are pre-made, and I think I had asked this question before, and the response I got on the Facebook group was that eventually we're going to get something like that, where you have just different email templates, and you can kind of customize them how you want, and you could put images in some parts, and I've seen that with MailChimp and some of the other platforms. So I was just wondering if you wanted to take advantage of that, how would you do that with the automation in New Zenler?
Yeah, well, Adi, I mean, you've brought us on to a really good point, because I said that I was going to share a technique to create templates yourself and put them into the Zenler platform. Now, we don't offer any support with this, but it all works, okay? So what I've done is I've done a video of, I'm going to share the link with you now. You guys are the first to get this link. So you can start creating your own templates, and you can put them into your email broadcasts, into your funnels, into your live automations. So basically you can put them anywhere that you can see this little HTML. Okay, and I show you how to do that in a video link. So I'm going to post the video up now, and this is the first time anyone's had it, so you've got it. And this should then, I think, Adi, it should help you.
Okay, great, thank you.
That's the link there. It's a 30-minute long video, but I do show you how to use the email templating program to do it. It's a program called Lyra Mail. I've been looking around because this is a question that's come up a lot of times about how can we customize, use different fonts. How do we make it, beautify it around the outside, have that kind of templated look? So I've been looking at a lot of different platforms. Usually what I do is I actually create all mine in Dreamweaver, or I hand code stuff. But obviously I'm not going to give you a course on hand coding HTML. It's just you'd just be driven mad, and you wouldn't want to do it because it's coding. So I managed to find this program online. It's free to use. You pay for some of the templates, but the ones that are free, you can highly customize anyway. You can make your own templates out, save them, save the HTML, and use that in every page, and just basically change the content. So I think this is a really good workaround for you. And I know you've been asking for it. So I've done this. Now, so on saying that, Rakesh says that we're going to be working and having template built into this at some stage anyway. So there might be a point where you don't need to use Lyra or Mail anymore, and you just use the default templates that we're going to supply you. So you've got all those exciting things to come later once we sort of stabilize the platform. But in the meantime, you can check out that video, and that should really help you. Any other questions?
David, I have a question.
Go.
Once we've created our lead magnet or our form, is there, and I want to do a Facebook ad for it.
Okay.
How do you, is there a link or a video that I can watch to see how you connect the two?
You want to put the form into Facebook. You're not just sharing the page.
Okay, so yeah. So
you could share the page. Let me just go to the pages, and you can't put the form into, well, not that I know of, maybe Phoenix knows a way, but I don't know if you can put the form straight into Facebook. You'd just be sharing the
link,
the URL, yeah, there. So with that in mind, what you definitely need to do is make sure that your page's SEO is all sorted out. Because if it's not, then when you go to put it into a Facebook page, it's just not going to show information. So I'm just going to flip the page up just so you know where the SEO is. Did you do last week's page builder?
I missed it by a day. So I hope, is it replayed or recorded?
We have. I'll tell you where that is in a second. But
okay.
Basically, if you jump into the page with the form, just make sure you go up here under SEO. And just make sure that all of this is filled out with the proper information. So you can put an image in here and these sort of things. Just make sure this is all filled out properly. So, because this is what it
What did you click
like.
on to get to the SEO settings?
I
didn't see that.
Go up here to.
Oh, okay.
Down to SEO there.
Got it.
It's in there. And on that subject for where these workshops will be, they're all going to be in the NZ Masterclass bundle, which is on tutorials.newzenler.com.
Okay.
Inside there, you've got this live workshop.
Okay.
I don't think I've uploaded the page builder, but I'm going to do that tomorrow morning. So that will be up there, and this video will be up there as well. And then we'll carry on funnels next week. So that is about it, I think. We're up to 2 hours already because I've wasted half an hour. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry about that. So hopefully you'll join me next week for the funnels part of the course. What I'll do is I'll send you a link in an email with the replay, giving you the invite code to funnels. So you guys get the first, you can actually sign up so you can carry on. So you're not going to miss out. Just as a way of sort of saying sorry. But you've also got that link for the YouTube video to make your own templates as well. So guys, thank you very much for putting up with my stupidity there. But yeah, we all make mistakes. All right, guys, thank you. See you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.